Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Stacey Van Dyke. The wind and the cold is creating an interesting weather phenomenon. Take a look at this. These are called snow rollers. It's when the wind pushes the snow and rolls it into balls. It's a perfect opportunity to make a snowman with any remaining snow you have in your neck of the woods. Now let's go over to Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson to find out what's next. Hutch?
Well, the wind is still going to be a factor as we head into our evening and overnight hours, as a matter of fact. But snow rapidly melting across much of the area. We do have several areas that got a lot of that snow, though, Stacey, as we take a look at this ruler report here from the Waban area. Thanks to all of you for sharing your videos and photos of this wintry nonsense that continues to pummel the area in parts. Not all of us got this, but wow, Waban. 11 inches. Amy, thanks for sharing. Look at the wind gusts today. Still over 50 miles per hour. Jamestown, 55. Sisseton, 55 mile per hour peak gust. 52 mile per hour gust today in Grand Forks. Oh, the trampolines were in trouble. I don't know if I'd want to be jumping on that Lynette and Natiwash area, getting a heavy dose of wet, sticky snow as well. Here's a look at the remnants. Notice not far from Fargo, we're seeing a few snow showers, some rain showers out in the James River Valley, maybe mixing with a few flakes for some. The main event, though, is really off to the south and east, Duluth and out toward the Twin Cities. If your travels take you there, they're still getting wind and snow in the combination, reducing visibilities. For us, our current wind speeds are still gusting. Check this out. Anywhere you see the reds, over 40 miles per hour. So it's still going to be noisy out there. Temperatures above freezing valley and west, below freezing where you see the white line here. So some slippery conditions still possible, particularly between here and the cities. Sunday is our next first alert weather day. That's when we've added multiple severe weather alert days coming up here over the next few. We'll spell them all out here, Stacey, in a few moments.
We just can't escape it.
No.
All right. Thanks, Hutch. Well, as residents in the south continue to pick up from yet another round of severe weather, a new round of threats continues into today. At least 3 deaths are now being blamed on storms. Videos from Georgia show funnel clouds, twisters, and destruction. Georgia's Governor Brian Kemp said the only good news is many of the twisters came and went quickly.
On the ground event, but where it did hit, it is complete devastation.
This afternoon, thousands of residents remain without power in Alabama, Mississippi, and South Carolina, and there's no let up just yet. Strong rains and the potential for hail and tornadoes will continue to pound parts of the southeast before that system makes its way out to sea. According to AccuWeather, the National Hurricane Center is considering moving up hurricane season by about 2 weeks from June 1st to May 15th after several years of storms forming much earlier than the official start to the season. Breaking news nationally this afternoon, Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson will be the first black woman to take a seat on the bench of the United States Supreme Court as a justice. Natalie Brand has details from Capitol Hill.
On this vote, the yeas are 53, the nays are 47, and this nomination is confirmed.
The Senate has voted to confirm Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson as the first black woman to ever take a seat on the nation's highest court.
I'm the father of a young black girl. I know how much it means for Judge Jackson to have navigated the double jeopardy of racism and sexism to now stand in the glory of this moment.
Judge Jackson won bipartisan support with 3 Republicans voting with all 50 Democrats to confirm her nomination.
Thankfully, there are members of the Senate who are willing to rise above the partisan fray. I want to particularly commend Senator Susan Collins of Maine, Senator Lisa Murkowski of Alaska, and Senator Mitt Romney of Utah for their political courage.
But a majority of Republican senators argue she's soft on crime and say they don't agree with her judicial philosophy.
Based on her record, I believe she will prove to be the furthest left of any justice to have ever served on the Supreme Court.
Judge Jackson's confirmation also makes history as the first former public defender on the Supreme Court, adding a perspective to the bench that Democrats say has been missing.
Judge Jackson will replace the retiring Justice Stephen Breyer. She was once a law clerk in his chambers. Her confirmation will change the face of the court, but not the ideological makeup, a 6-3 conservative majority. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
President Biden and Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson watched the vote together in the Roosevelt Room of the White House. The Biden administration is planning an event likely tomorrow. An area doctor is suing Sanford Health and UND alleging sexual harassment. Court documents show Dr. Fiona Axelson alleges her family medicine residency program director sexually harassed her and multiple other female coworkers. Documents allege when it was brought to the company's attention, her claims were ignored. Court records show it started in July 2020 when Dr. Jason Mirmo started as the program director. Sanford released a statement to Valley News Live saying, in part, we are aware of the lawsuit. We will defend this case vigorously. An 83-year-old woman is dead following a crash in Cass County, Minnesota. The Minnesota State Patrol says 56-year-old Stephen Ertl of St. Cloud crossed over the center line on Highway 371 and hit a vehicle driven by 86-year-old Leo Elia. Ertl's passenger, an 83-year-old woman, died in that crash. Her name isn't yet being released. Elia was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. State Patrol says the roads were snowy and icy at the time. A North Dakota farmer jailed in Ukraine is now in Lviv. We told you yesterday that Kurt Grosshans of Ashley, North Dakota, was moved from where he was, but details were limited. Investigators in Ukraine have accused him of paying someone to kill a former business partner who now serves in President Zelensky's cabinet. He's denied the accusation. His family says the charges are false and aimed at silencing his claims of corruption in Ukraine. More than 2 years into the pandemic, many restaurants are still struggling to get back on their feet if they weren't shut down altogether. A number of lawmakers want to help them out. Today, the House passed a restaurant aid bill that would give them $42 billion in additional relief. It would also provide another $13 billion for other small businesses hit hard by the pandemic. The money would come from funds that had been set aside in previous pandemic relief bills but hadn't been spent yet. A companion bill has been tangled up in the Senate. It won't be taken up before the chamber's leave for a 2-week recess at the end of this week. An FBI operation has taken down some Russian hackers. The agency says it seized control of thousands of routers and firewall mechanisms in order to delete malware and reconfigure the devices. The move was a preemptive strike to block Russian hackers from hijacking computers. The Senate voted unanimously to suspend normal trade relations with Russia and ban its importation of its oil, ratcheting up the U.S.'s response to Russia's invasion of Ukraine amid reports of atrocities.
The legislation will go a long way to landing a painful, severe blow on Putin's economy. It will hinder his ability to keep funding his war machine.
In a vote of 100-0, lawmakers showed their overwhelming support for the substance of the bills. Both bills are expected to pass the House later today before going to President Biden to be signed into law. The president has already taken executive action to ban Russian oil, liquefied natural gas, and coal to the U.S. The bill to end normal trade relations with Russia paves the way for him to enact higher tariffs on various imports like certain steel and aluminum products, further weakening the Russian economy. Minnesota animal health officials say more than 1 million birds across the state have now been infected with bird flu. The latest cases report includes 2 commercial poultry flocks in Morrison County and 1 each in Big Stone, Meeker, Stearns, and Waseca counties. Avian flu has now been found in 21 poultry flocks across 11 Minnesota counties. The State Board of Animal Health says most of the affected operations are commercial turkey flocks. The birds are euthanized to keep the virus from spreading. Minnesota's turkey industry includes nearly 700 farms that raise about 40 million birds every year.